You've heard me talk before about why I've given up with streaming, why I went back to my DVDs and now Blu-rays. Well, let me just give you a quick recap. The reason I didn't like streaming at the time I came off it was 2 years ago. And at the time you could get films, you could get series. I know you still can. However, now, unless you pay a little bit more money, you have to watch them with adverts on many of the streaming channels. But it's not only that. It's the fact that I can remember watching a series and getting so far through the series and all of a sudden it disappeared because the licensing ran out with the channel and it was gone. I can remember paying to buy a film once so that I could watch it as many times as I wanted. And then the licensing ran out and it disappeared. But the other thing, of course, is the overwhelming choice that you've got. There is so much on there that sometimes I used to get tired just looking for something to watch. And those were some of the reasons why I did away with all the streaming and went back to my DVDs. I want to talk to you about a couple of the reasons why I love my DVD and Blu-ray collection so much. Because you see, it's more than movies. It's more like it's a timeline of my life. And let me give you a few examples. Let's start off here. As a child, Champion the Wonder Horse. I absolutely love this. I saw it available to buy and I had to buy it. And you know what? When I watch it again, it's just like being a child again. I love this. It was such a good series. And as a child, Man in the Suitcase was just great. These things are so brilliant. And I don't know where you find them these days. Admittedly, you can probably find them on out of the way little channels. It's something that you get the taste for. You want to feel it. You want to be able to open it up, see the disc, put the discs in and relive those memories. Like I used to when I used to go, book him, Dano. Hawaii 5-0. I don't know where I can see this online. I've got to be honest, in the UK, I have no idea where I can see it. But the fact that I have the DVDs mean that I can see it whenever I want. Now here is one that I adore. The Avengers, Emma Peel, the first woman that made me realise that I was going to like women as I grew up. She was my first crush. I watched The Avengers just to see Emma Peel. The memories just flood back when I see this. And then, of course, there's comedy series from way back when. Now, I know some of them can lose their feel as they get older, but this one is the comedy series that I judge all others by. I can still watch this today and laugh my head off. I absolutely love this. Let's talk film. I talk about my dad and my music and how much I loved my music with my dad, but it was my mum who made the films such a big thing for me. I can remember watching Mr. Roberts way, way back. When did you see that on a streaming channel lately? You just don't, do you? Mr. Roberts, James Cagney, Jack Lemmon, Henry Fonda, complete and proper stars and a fantastic movie. And because of my mum, I absolutely loved musicals. She used to put them on and she would wax lyrical about them when I used to watch them. And so things like Easter Parade, Broadway Melody of 1940, High Society would be such great movies for me. I have loads. I put these in these covers so that I can get more of them in my living room. But yeah, these films led me to a world of delight as a kid. And then you got these old movies like Arsenic and Old Lace. And then the one that my mum sat me through and talked about it for hours, Gone with the Wind, such a brilliant movie. And then you can talk about being personal, you know, personal with your movies. Brighton Rock, Richard Attenborough. In the very beginning here, if you've seen the film, they're on Brighton Pier and they go on a little ghost train ride and you hear and see a little girl get in there and the little girl screams. Well, that's my Aunt Sheila. She is in the film. And so it's a kind of personal film to me. And a little side thing, my mum blagged Richard Attenborough's shoes off him at the end of the film. And she had them for years, I have to say. You see, films and DVDs are more than just movies. They hold a special part in my life. They take me back to different times of my life. See, there are more to films. There are more to telly series that you've got and you can own and you can keep and watch them whenever I want without keep paying every month. Because I don't like renting is another reason for it. But when I think back, Miami Vice, how cool a TV program was that in the 80s? I loved Miami Vice. I still do. I'm still watching it again now. And then I talk about my dad. If there was one TV series that made me think of my dad, it was Minder. Why? Not because he was a Jack the Lad, but because he looked like George Cole. My dad's kind of dressed in the same things as George Cole. These things are not just movies, they're not just films. They're parts of my life. They're things that I need to hold. You know, when you talk about you go back in time, music is a great thing. We go back and we talk about music and how much we love it. I think of this, Grease. I went to see the film in 1978 in September with a load of my friends. There must have been 30 of us. And I was just 18. And we went and saw it, and we come back and we went to a local pub, and we were all stood outside the pub, and all of us were singing and dancing to this film. And it's one of those things that just takes me back and fills me with joy. One more film I want to show you, and it's this one. It's not my favorite film, but it's one of those films that are just beautiful. I've seen it on a streaming channel, but I've only seen the shorter version of it. This one is the director's cut. It's got all the extras, all the things that I love. And you know what? The other thing that you can't get with streaming is you watch it once on streaming and you go at something else. But every time I put this film on, I see something else in the film that I've never spotted before. And these are some of the reasons why, for me, DVD, Blu-ray can't be bettered by streaming. For starters, if I wanted all of these films and all of these TV series on streaming, I may well have to go and subscribe to loads of different ones. And I know you say to me, I can watch my channel and then uncancel and do it. What a load of hassle. I've got these. I can go downstairs. I can put them on any time I like. And so there is much more to it than meets the eye. Another thing I like about DVDs is the artwork. You get to keep the artwork. I haven't got any here, but in some of my DVD collections and some of my films, you get little booklets with them that you can read and go through. I like the packaging as well. These are the sorts of things that are reasons why people like myself continue with DVD, movies and Blu-rays and all that sort of thing. And you see what else this is? It's a legacy of my lifetime. There are DVDs that I don't have here, but they bring back such memories. There's a children's series that my James, when he was about 2 years old, used to be on the TV called The Raggy Dolls. Little cartoon series, nothing special. But I can remember about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, seeing The Raggy Dolls on DVD, so I bought it. And then over Christmas, our grandchildren were here, who are now 2, 3. And I put it on the telly. And it was such a joy to watch their faces, and it took me back to my James. There are so many reasons why DVDs and Blu-rays mean so much to me. So much more than streaming. So much more than searching for different channels for different things to watch. I'm not saying DVDs are the best things in the world, and I'm not saying streaming is the worst thing in the world. It's horses for courses. But for me, you know, these here and the ones that I have in my house all bring me joy. I can flick through them and pick out a film that I love, and I'm more than happy. Do you know what the difference is between that and streaming? I know that when I flick through these, I like everything. I can put it on the telly and be transported to a world for a couple of hours and know that I'm going to enjoy it. And for me, that's why I love my DVDs and Blu-rays. And if you look up there, I'm going to show you another video about some of my DVDs and Blu-rays that I've recently added to my collection. I'll see you next time.